What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Mafex or Medicom Toys Batman Hush the Joker. Let's get right into it. Now, starting off with that sexy packaging, they are continuing to go with this bluish theme for the color, and I think that's fine. It says Batman Hush right there. We've got an image of the Joker right there with the window packaging. This figure looks really good, by the way. It says the Joker right there, Batman Hush version, action figure, Mafex, Medicom toy, DC. At the top, we have an image of him up here. It says Batman Hush right there. Legal stuff at the bottom, no one really cares about. On the side, we have an image of him right here, which is based on a specific panel in the comic, and I'm hoping I can hit that pose. I'm going to try it later in the video. But it says Batman Hush right there. On this side, we've got a full body image of him, just looking all Jokerish. And the suit kind of looks blue and purple, so we'll take a look at that once we get him out of here. But on the back, we do have some poses we can get the figure into. The one accessory that he comes with, which is a little bit disappointing, and then yeah, whatever all this stuff is at the bottom. Now, that being said, let's go ahead and bust this figure open, because even though he doesn't come with much, I'm still pretty excited for this one, because we need a good 6-inch comic Joker figure. Now, straight out of the package, I'm going to go ahead and say it. If you are looking for a good 6-inch comic book Joker, this is it. Look no further, because this thing looks really freaking good. I'll say, I will be the first to admit, I really was not the biggest fan of Jim Lee's artwork when it came to the Joker. Something about the look that he had in the comics. I mean, he made him look maniacal like he's supposed to, but I just didn't really care for that look. But for some reason, in action figure form, this thing looks spectacular, man. This is a dope looking figure. As you guys can see, you got that sinister smile right there. You got the pointy nose. There's a whole lot of shading going on in the face as well. There's like this, of course it's painted, or actually it's not painted, because this is probably him when his skin is dyed, but you see all this like purple and everything. You see the wrinkles, or they bring out the wrinkles rather. The teeth are painted nicely. The eyes are painted nicely. Like, just the look in this man's eyes says evil. You got the hair, which is sculpted very nice. It's painted green. It has a black wash to it. Like, they absolutely killed it. This is a very, very sick Joker head. And promo images I just didn't like this, but having it in hand, oh my goodness. And then the suit as well. Like, this is it. It looks a little bit blue-ish. Like, it kind of depends. It's kind of tricky to the eye, because it looks blue, but then at the same time, it looks purple. But then I'm thinking maybe my brain is telling me that it's supposed to be purple, and so that's what's giving it the appearance that it's kind of purple. I don't know, but it looks a little bit more on the navy blue side to me. If you guys get it in hand, you can tell me what you think, but I think it's purple enough. I do hope that they release like another version of this with just a purple suit. That would be dope, kind of like what they did with Batman. They made the blue Hush version from the comics, and then they made the black one just an extra. I really hope they do that and just give him a flat-out purple suit. That would be amazing. Maybe change the color of this centerpiece right here. But for now, what it is, this is a dope Joker figure. Like, man, he's lanky, but he's supposed to be. And this just looks so freaking good. You got sculpt work right here on the pants, the wrinkles, the creases in here, the wrinkles right here, the shoes. This just looks really nice, Yoga. Like, for real. The gloves on him, they're plain. Maybe they could have used a little bit of shading, but I mean, it doesn't really bother me. You've got some subtle shading on the figure. Like, the wrinkles on the suit are shaded. Right here, there's a little bit of shading. Not a whole lot, but you see some like around this area right here, right around the knees. So there is shading here. I feel like they probably could have added a little bit in here just to pop it off. But other than that, man, they absolutely killed it with this figure. I can't brag on this enough. This, just in terms of looks, turned out so much better than I thought it was. And it's crazy because it looks just like the promo images, but I'm just happier having it in hand versus seeing pictures of it. But anyway, let's go ahead and put this guy back so we can see how tall he stands. I have rambled enough. Now for the height of the Clown Prince of Crime. To the top of his head, he is right at about 6.5 inches. So he is pretty tall. Of course, I will be showing some size comparisons later to let you guys know how he will scale with other 6-inch DC figures. Articulation wise, he looks up not a whole lot, unfortunately. You only get him to look up about that much, which isn't too bad, but as you can see, the back of his head is touching the back of the neck. So, I mean, they did what they could. His head does look a little bit big, kind of because the hair flares out a little bit, but I mean, it still looks really good. He can tilt his head down only about that much, and that's because he's got this long chin here. So if you tilt his head down, it's still just going to look like he's looking forward. He does have, whoa, really good twisted tilt. That looks kind of creepy, but yeah, he does get really good tilt. You can kind of move that head around however you want. Arms go up and out about that much, so he can do higher than a T-pose, which is great. He thankfully does have a bicep swivel. As far as the arms go, they can come in using this butterfly joint only about this much, and I wish they could come out a little bit more, but based on how slender this design is, I think this is the best that they could work with. But he can totally give Batman a hug if you want him to, so that works. As far as the arms go, it seems like they are double jointed, but it feels like I can only move them in about that much. Like, it feels like if I push it any more, this joint is going to break, and I don't want anything to break on this $90 figure. So I'm just going to say this is as far as his arms can come in. If you guys want to try to push that further, by all means, but actually I don't think it can go any further because this joint actually touches this piece right here once you bend it in. So yeah, he can put his hands up for when the cops show up, or if he wants to drop some explosive cards or something. I don't know, chattering teeth, but yeah, that's about all you get in terms of that. Now his hands are on this hinge right here, which is very small, and the gloves actually tuck all the way in until they touch the sleeve. So whenever you want to pose them around, you kind of have to put them on and then pose them as you put them on, because otherwise, once you have them on, sometimes it might work, sometimes it might not, depending on how far you push on the glove. So yeah, just be aware of that. As far as the torso, he does have a diaphragm joint, which is a little bit effective, not very much. He only leans forward about that much. Going back, you really don't get much out of that at all. That's about as much as he goes back, but you do also have this double peg at the waist, which helps him to go back even further. And then it helps him to go even further forward also. So if you want to get those crazy Joker poses, you can totally do it. It just sucks that he can't bring his arm in anymore, because it would be great if you could do the pose where he like puts his hand on his chest and he's, I don't know, excited about an applause he's getting or something. That the elbows is really lackluster, man. I hate that. And I'm trying to see if I can figure out a way around it. I need to stop. But yeah, that's about as much as you get. Of course, he can maneuver all around. Just be careful because he has a very slender frame, so you don't want anything breaking. As far as the legs go, they are on a drop down method. He can kick all the way up. So if you want to get him in a pose where he's just doing something crazy, like, I don't know, prancing around on a stage or something, he can do it. Or if you just want him to kick Batman in the face, which he shouldn't, but you can do it. He does have a thigh swivel slightly. It's not like a major swivel, but it is there. As far as the legs go out, you can hit the splits with this guy about that much, so not too bad. The knees are single jointed, but they get, I was going to say double jointed range, but not entirely. They bend about that much, which I think that's acceptable. That's fine. And then it also looks good as well, so I can't complain about that. As far as the foot goes up, it goes up about that much, goes down about that much. He gets a little bit of ankle rocker. Actually, nah, he gets really good ankle rocker. I'll take that back. Really good ankle rocker. And then a toe hinge as well. So, yeah, articulation-wise, lackluster at the arms for sure. But I would say that's probably it. Everything else works pretty much how I expected. Once again, just be careful with these legs because this part feels super fragile. Don't get excited posing this guy and start moving it too fast because this just feels like it'll break. It's not that it feels like it's gonna break without me not taking care of it, but if you don't take care of this, yeah, this part right here can cause you some trouble in the future if you get too excited. Just a heads up. So there's this one particular squatting pose I wanted to see if I could get the figure in, and it looks like you can just about do it. It's from the scene where Batman shows up right after he kills Tommy, or so you think. If you haven't read Hush, you need to read Hush. But yeah, it looks like he can just about hit it. I really wish the legs could bend a little bit more, but honestly, this is not bad for such a slender figure. I think this is very acceptable. Now moving on to accessories, this is where this figure really disappoints, especially for the price. When it comes to the head sculpts, you get just this little smiling face where his teeth are showing, and then you do get this maniacal laugh, which I think this looks really good. The head sculpts are uncanny. They look phenomenal. Once again, the nose looks super dope. They killed it when it came to these head sculpts. Now, as far as hands go, you do get this pair of relaxed hands. That's how it comes in the package. You get a pair of fist hands. You get a pair of weapon holding hands, and I'm guessing this is for the knife that he comes with. Technically, this is the only other accessory, and if you want him to hold it, you just kind of plug it in here, and he holds it just fine. No problem. That's not going anywhere. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the only accessory you get in terms of weapons. Now, you get these hands right here, which I don't know what this is for. You kind of have that finger curved where it's like it looks like you could use it as a gun holding hand, and I have a few ideas for that I'll show in just a sec. You do get these almost like pointing fingers, but this is actually from the pose that I showcased earlier that he does, so these hands go with that, and then you get a pair of relaxed hands, and that's it. That's pretty much all you get with this guy, which is extremely disappointing. Now, let's see if he can hold any other accessories, because I got a few out I just wanted to try out of some of the stuff that I found. Now I'm going to start off with this hand. This is where the hand is closed. As you guys can see, you just kind of slip something through his fingers. And I got this cane here from one of my Mafex Jokers, and he does hold that just fine. Only problem is, if you put it in his hand, it's not going to match the suit. This is from the Mafex Jared Leto suit Joker, which I still like this. I love this cane. But yeah, if you put it in his hand, it's not going to match the suit. So hopefully if you have another one, that'll work. Now, another weapon I have, I don't know what this comes from, one of my DC figures, is this bang gun. I wish it had a little bit of black wash to make it look more realistic. This is a cartoon version, so it doesn't have to, but still, it would have been cool. And you can, let's see, kind of slip this in there. Yeah, you can kind of slip this in there. It just looks like he's shooting with his pinky out, which, I mean, it's Joker, so it's not unheard of for him to shoot in a crazy way, and it holds. So if you have one of these, that would work. And then one other weapon that I have, if I can get this out of his hand, this actually fits too well. They should have included one of these with how well this fits. Is a pistol. I don't have a revolver, but here is a pistol. This is the one that comes with the SH Figure Arts Injustice Harley Quinn. You can get him to hold it. It's not going to stay. It can wobble out of there, but it will go in his hand, and yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to do. But yeah, if you have some weapons, it looks like this is going to be the hand for holding them if you wanted to do that. So yeah, he can hold some weapons, but he just doesn't come with any. Now moving on to size comparisons, here he is standing next to the Mafex or Medicom Toys Batman Hush. This is the black suit version, and I actually swapped out the cape with a cape I bought off of eBay, for those of you who are wondering. And I feel like this is just an absolutely wonderful figure with a better cape. Without the cape, it's still a great figure, but adding a custom cape to it just makes it 10 times better. Here he is also standing next to the Mafex Superman Hush, which is a wonderful figure. I feel sorry for everyone who missed out on this one. And then, of course, the Mafex Hush Catwoman. All of these look really, really good together. Now, for my people that want to get their mix-up on, here he is standing next to a couple of DC icons. We do have the DC Icons Nightwing, the DC Icons Harley Quinn, and the DC Icons Batgirl. Next up, here he is standing next to a Mafex or Medicom Toys Batman Hush Hush. This is the one with the Jason Todd head sculpt on the body, which looks great. This is a great figure, but it does have some issues. And I find it ironic that he was able to come with guns and Joker wasn't. Speaking of which, I'm about to try something in the middle of a size comparison. I don't normally do this, but it's necessary. this time around. So let's try something real quick since I still got these accessories right here. Cross your fingers and boom, it works. If you want a gun for him, there you go, Hush. But anyway, here he is standing next to an SH Figuarts The Dark Knight Joker, and then the SH Figuarts Injustice Harley Quinn. And lastly, for some extras, here he is standing next to a Mattel Tim Drake Robin. If you don't know, Joker is in Fortnite, so here he is standing next to a couple of Fortnite figures. We do have the Jazzwares 8-Ball and, of course, the Hasbro Lynx. Both great figures, and I think he fits in scale with them just fine. Now, I'll go ahead and be honest with you guys. If you need a 6-inch... Now, I'll go ahead and be honest with you guys. If you are in need of a good 6-inch Joker action figure, you can't go wrong with this one. Now, that being said, he does have a few issues. First off, the joints on this guy get super tight. I don't know if it's me, maybe it's because of the weather, but the more I posed him, the tighter the joints got. So I immediately had to take this figure apart and put some shock oil on it. And that's what I tell people. When it comes to Mafex, if you hear any squeaky noises, if you feel the joints start to feel like they're tight, immediately put it in hot water and boil that sucker if you have to. Take it apart and then apply shock oil. But do not continue to articulate it because these joints will snap. Mafex has very durable plastic, but it will last as long as you take care of your figures. So keep that in mind. Always, 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 always oil your figures if necessary. Now, the next issue I have is something that I actually noticed in the middle of the review. So I was looking at this on the box. As you guys can see, you can actually fold that arm in over the chest. And I tried that and I was not able to do it. So maybe that means that the elbow issue is just mine. I'm not entirely sure, but I wasn't able to do it. I tried it multiple times and I couldn't pull it off. So once again, I didn't want to break the figure, so I just had to leave it alone. Now, the last issue I have is just that this guy is super, not flimsy, but he is definitely susceptible to breaking if you don't handle it carefully. Because of the fact it's such a slender figure, it has these slender joints, and mostly along this area right here. Take care of this guy, and I think that you will be fine. But overall, it's a good-looking Joker figure. I still believe that this is basically the definitive 6-inch Joker figure right now until somebody puts something out that's comic accurate and better than this. This is going to be that Joker. I've shown you guys that you can add accessories to him. Yes, it sucks that he doesn't come with them. I don't know why they were able to give Hush guns and they weren't able to give him any. That's very weird to me, but I mean, I don't have anything to do with licensing, so I can't say it. Now, this is one of those figures where it's really up to you whether you're okay spending $90 on it. Me personally, Mafex is my favorite company. Batman is my favorite comic book series of all time. So I'm going to buy anything that comes out from Hush. I don't care what it is. I'm getting Harley Quinn. I'm getting Huntress. And whatever they decide to make after that. Hopefully Poison Ivy. Oh, I'm going to need that. But anyway, I've rambled on. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.